It was a packed hearing room at the Kentucky Capitol this afternoon in Frankfort. A debate on the state's involvement with that Bluegrass Pipeline continued for hours before the House Judiciary Committee postponed further conversation on the issue. The argument whether the pipeline is entitled to eminent domain. WHS 11's Brooke Hash covered today's hearing. Brooke?
Well, it's the debate between property owners' rights versus economic development. The Bluegrass Pipeline will transport liquefied natural gas through 13 Kentucky counties, but residents in the affected areas say pipeline officials have already threatened to use eminent domain to gain their property.
A land rep first showed up at my door in March of last year, 2013, to tell me that they were wanting to run a pipe through my property. I remember telling him that I wasn't overjoyed about that fact, and I think he told me not a lot of people are, but he also threw in almost immediately that they felt that their project was subject to eminent domain.
One Kentucky resident after another sat before this House Judiciary Committee pleading for the protection of their land against a pipeline that will carry liquefied natural gas from Pennsylvania to the Gulf of Mexico, a plea backed by House Bill 31.
Whether we ought to grant the power of eminent domain to NGLs is another question, and I think we can debate that.
The stakes marking the center line cut our 120-acre property in half and crossed springs and a sinkhole. If the pipeline were built there, it would put my mom and dad and their home at risk.
While advocates of the Bluegrass Pipeline say it's the safest and most effective transportation of gas, residents in its path fear the loss of their land in the process.
I'm here today because my family feels threatened by the potential use of eminent domain.
In Kentucky, when you consider property rights and how sacred they are to Kentuckians, I think this is what we're talking about today. It's a property rights issue.
A committee substitute for House Bill 31 would clarify state law so that natural gas liquids would not be considered an oil or gas product. This would mean the pipeline's owners, Williams Company and Boardwalk Pipeline Partners, could not seize property through eminent domain to build the pipeline.
Now, House Bill 31 would not block the pipeline, but rather protect the rights of landowners. The debate continues. It's scheduled for the next hearing with the Judiciary Committee. Brooke Hash, WHAS 11 News.